Hello, boy tings.
Alright, so before I start this video and I go ahead and install the ARM inlets, but I just want to take this time to say thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. It's awesome. I've had many YouTube channels in the past since I was like 10 years old, doing a bunch of dumb shit. I've been like kind of seriously doing this, not going as hard as I potentially could because I still have a job that I have to go to every single day of the week, regardless of the comments that I get that say my parents pay for everything. Me and Odd Hand just partner, whatever you want to call it. So on my website, shopwebbies.com, I'm now selling Odd Hand rims. So I'll pop up the selection. You guys can scroll through that. It's like 20 different wheels. Odd Hand's a great company. I actually run Odd Hand AHO2s. I'll give a quick shout out to ARM Motorsports. They supplied the parts for today's video. So thank you to ARM for giving me the inlet. And they actually gave me a code that my viewers can use. It's WW10. Here we go. We got all the silicone hoses. Shout out to hose. More hoses. Shout out ARM for supplying the hose. You know what I'm saying? We got the one intake, and the other one is in here. This is the wire. We got this jump, and then we got a bunch of other stuff, you know, that we'll figure out what to do with later. Clamp, can't go wrong with hella clamp. And then we got a little elbow jump. And like I said, you guys can use WW10 at checkout on ARM website. And go run up ARM's Instagram, and everybody go comment on their recent posts, and I'll pick a random comment and send them a free car part off of my website. And if you don't have a car or don't have any car parts you want, I'll send you money. So just go run up their Instagram comments, let them know what's up. I bought a PO box. It's mainly for the website because I want the return address to be the PO box instead of my like home address. So I have a PO box now. If you guys want to send me some love letters or, you know, anything you want, I'll open it all on video. Here's the PO box address. So send me some love letters, you know, anything you want, baby. All right, so now we're gonna jump into the install. So this is the first time you guys are watching my channel. FBO Stage 2 Plus MHD tuning, just your classic N54 type boy. Pretty much what we're replacing today is we got the plastic inlet right here. You guys can't see it now, but one on the back side right there. The very first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is remove this thing right here and then the fan right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this one out and then this one out right there. Now the next is get the fan out. Unfortunately, there is one bolt to get the fan out that you have to go underneath, which is right down there. You can't really see it, but so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the belly pan. That's just a bunch of 8s. All right, so right here's that bolt I'm talking about. It's a T25. Go ahead and get her out the way, brother. Shit. Get the bolt off down there. You're gonna come up top, and there's one last bolt right here that you wanna go ahead and remove. Next thing you want to do is go ahead and remove this out of the little clips. Excuse the unreleased juice roll music in the background, little BB. Don't take it down. And then with this wire, you want to go ahead and get the clips pressed together, pull her out. And then on the driver's side of the fan, there's a clip right here. That clip right there, all you gotta do is press it in and then pull the whole fan up. I guess we might as well take the intakes out as well because eventually they're gonna have to come out. So also ARM intakes. So from there, move this little hose thing out the way. 2 T30 bolts that are holding this front OEM inlet in. So one right here and then one right here. And they don't back all the way out. They just get to a certain point and then they're stuck in there. Now the only thing that is holding this guy in there is, I don't really know. I need to go watch a YouTube video. You know, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all for a second. Everybody who makes how-to videos just goes off another how-to video. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and leave the front inlet like how it is right now for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and take the valve cover off. And I actually did some performance mods and I took the back 2 Allen bolts out for weight reduction reasons, you know. I definitely didn't lose them. Now that we got the engine cover off, I think I'm actually just gonna take the whole oil catch can and toss it to the side somewhere. Alright, so I got the oil catch can off the mount. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove it from the rear inlet right there. To get that one, you just wanna get a flathead and stick it in right here and just pry out and pull up on that. I got the whole oil catch can removed right there. For my stock boys, you won't have it, so you're good. So the goal is to get behind here, and there's 2 bolts back there, just like up front in the back, so they're way harder to reach. So on the front inlet, there's 2 hoses that are attached to this. So all you gotta do is like pull them out of the little spots. A little more hand access to this front inlet is go ahead and remove this. So it's a 10 right there, and then there's another 10 a couple inches more that way. It's really hard to see. And then there's the 10 right here, and then obviously these vacuum hoses just pull off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way to make it easy. Alright, so I got this all out the way, and I just moved the canisters over here for now. This piece you're actually not going to even need anymore. That gives us the ability to get a left handle on that turbo side of the inlet. It's a little bit hard to see, but right there is where the inlet connects to the turbo. And all you really want to do is you want to get your left hand on that side, and then your right hand on this side, and then just pull it out. It's actually not hard, as you would probably think. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull it off completely now. Shout, baby. Ooh. So I got the whole front inlet out. The next goal is to get the rear inlet out. It's gonna be a pain in the ass because there's the 2 bolts that are hard to get to, but we gonna get her done one way or the other. All right, boys, so listen here. So I've been thinking over some Domino's pizza. Oh, that was hot. We got the inlet out pretty easy. Now the back one, you can't even fit a socket back there. So what I was thinking is we're not reusing the inlets. I think I'm gonna just take a flathead and pry the shit out of the plastic and just break off the part with a bolt. You know, what's secured on there. I think I'm just gonna break it off. Anyone trying to buy my OEM inlets off of me, just give me a bag of like Fritos, call it good. I'm gonna eat this and then go break that shit. This rear inlet is now very loose because I 100% got the bolts out like you're supposed to. And don't be like me. Well, you can if you really want to. But I'm saying I advise to do it the real way. All right, so it's the next day, and I figured out that you actually have to remove the downpipe, so I went ahead and took them off. The only way to access the rear inlet to where the turbo goes, you have to have access to above the downpipe. It's right here, and unfortunately there's absolutely no way of being able to pull this out, so you're actually gonna have to cut this 90-degree angle, which sucks. And definitely when you're cutting the plastic inlet out, make sure you wear safety glasses or something. You're gonna get a bunch of plastic in there, so my choice was clout goggles, because you know, I figured there's nothing else that can keep you safer than clout, so right, just did. So once you got that 90 off the rear inlet, you can just come up top and should be able to just pull this guy out, and it should be decently easy, but I might need 2 hands for it. Alright, now that we have the inlets from the rear and the front completely removed, the next thing before I start putting anything back together is I'm going to relocate this side. Alright, so when you get it unbolted, there's actually a rubber tab that this thing goes into. Then you're going to go ahead and remove this sensor down here. And then now, unfortunately, we're going to have to drain this because that's the only way we're going to be able to take the hoses off and then move it over there. And then with the sensor, we're actually gonna have to splice into it to run a wire all the way over there. My little contraption I got right here to keep the mess down on draining this right here is, so obviously where we're gonna drain this is right there. So when we take this connector off, all the coolant in the expansion tank is gonna obviously come out. Shove the skinny funnel down there, and then the longer hose that actually came with the inlet kit, it's not what it's meant for, obviously, but I put this hose on the other end of the funnel so that way it'll all just come straight down to this bucket. Hey, that worked way better than I actually thought. Now that that's fully drained, we can go ahead and pop this guy off the top right here. So we got this one out. This one's gonna be a lot shorter since it doesn't have to go all the way across the motor. This can completely come out now. It's just a 10 mil and then that clamp, that C clamp over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the charge pipe so that way I can get this bracket out. Alright, so there's a 10 right there, 10 right there, and then a 10 right behind that hose. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this bracket off. Now that we got the bracket out the way right here, so this comes with the ARM kit. So this is the piece we're gonna need to use right here for the reservoir, just like this. Your reservoir is gonna sit somewhere like right about there. All right, so now that we have that bolted up, next thing you wanna go ahead and do is take this piece right here, and this is for the power steering reservoir. These 2 alternator bolts right here, the power steering reservoir is gonna sit over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that in there. Alright, so we got the power steering reservoir in there. It's looking pretty good in there. I guess you have to replace the OEM silver heat shield down there. It's probably to keep the heat off the intakes in there, which makes sense. So we got to remove the 2 boost solenoids, one right here. And it's just a 10 mil on the top and the bottom to get them both out. And Mason said he's going to do the rest of everything. And he's
yeah, I got it.
And he's going to put my bags on all by like midnight tonight.
Yeah.
We had the boost solenoids out the way. You don't have to remove all this shit on it probably. Alright, so we got this out. This replaces this. So this came in the box too. This goes on here where the boost solenoids go into.
All right, nice little update.
Hey guys.
He's down there somewhere. He's sending me snaps, showing me updates and stuff while I'm pushing.
All right, this is the best angle y'all motherfuckers gonna get. Well, look, we got her up, bud. She's on there. Now I don't know if there's a clamp for it, but yeah, she's on there. It actually wasn't that bad. Putting it on is definitely a lot better than taking it off. This is how it's looking from the top. This one's on. This one's pretty much all the way on. And where I'm at right now is I got the rear and front inlet in. When I first put them in, I didn't know you had to use clamps, but you do have to use these clamps on the where it hooks up to the turbo. It's a 46 to 70 millimeter clamp. I don't even know if you use all these clamps. ARM gave me a bunch of clamps. I don't know if they're all used, but we'll see. So now I'm actually just going to go ahead and put the downpipes back on. The only reason that we had to take them off was to get the rear inlet in and out. Now that that's all taken care of, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the downpipes back on. All right, so I finally got all the downpipes on down there. Next thing is gonna grab this plate right here, and then make sure you put 2 of the clamp on there already. So now it's time to put the intakes on finally. Just gotta squeeze this over both. Just like that. And then you wanna go ahead and obviously tighten the clamps. All right, then once you got this all tightened up, just wanna take your 2 filters and then go right on there. And then obviously tighten these up as well. All right, so I got the intakes in right there, looking clean. As far as the heat shield, just gonna go right over the holes right there, and then obviously you're just gonna bolt them in with these. All right, now that we got the heat shield on, you wanna go ahead and grab this piece from the rear inlet. If you also have a catch can, it's part of that. It hooks to one part of it. These pieces from the box, it's this piece and then these little C, like rings or whatever you wanna call them. These actually just snap right over. And then you wanna leave the opening part of the C right here with the big part, because what you wanna go ahead and do is grab this, where the connection is. You wanna line that up with the big part here, and then just push this over top. Yeah, so once it's over like this, it should be nice and firm on there. So it should just look like this. And once you have it like this, you want to go ahead and grab the smaller hose out of the 2, and that just slides over top of this. But make sure that you put one of these clamps in there. Then you want to tighten the clamp down, and then I'll show you where to put this. That piece is going to go on the rear inlet. You just want to place it into that one little slot that was left open on the rear inlet. It goes on there pretty easily as long as you have the clamp on the right side. I did put a clamp on the bottom side too, so I'm going to tighten that up. For those who are doing this without running a oil catch can, I'll pop up on the screen what you should do for this step. If you do have a catch can like me, I did have to get a little DIY on it because obviously the kit is going to be made for OEM stuff. So if you do have a catch can like me, still do that step the same way with this hose that goes to this inlet. And then from there, ARM gives you a couple 90-degree angles. So I threw one of them in there, and then I'll pop up on the screen the piece I use for back here. So I cut it at right about this point, and I used 2 clamps that ARM provided, and this is the other straight piece that comes with catch cans, and I had to top off about like 4 or 5 inches, and then it runs straight into the other side where it needs to be. It actually doesn't look too bad other than the little 90 piece in there. So if you guys are doing this, hopefully that'll help you guys solve that problem. So the next thing we're going to want to do here is this wire back here that connected to the sensor right there when it was over there. So what we have to unfortunately do and just cut it, and then we're going to want to splice this wire as long as we need it. This was provided by ARM. I'm gonna go ahead and use butt splices and splice it over to there, and I'll show you guys once it's done. Got her wired up there, so you can see it's plugged in right where it needs to be, and then ran across to where it used to be. So that's just gonna get all tucked back there. At this point, you want to use these 4 black Allen bolts that they give you and put the boost solenoids back in over here. All right, so I got all the boost solenoids back in there and all the vacuum lines plugged back in. I still don't know where I'm gonna put these, but I'll show you guys when I figure that out. So now what we're gonna do next is this is the coolant reservoir sensor wire, whatever you want to call it. So we also have to splice it and run it through here all the way down to the bottom there where the sensor is. So I'm gonna go ahead and butt splice it and then show you guys when I'm done. So I have it spliced right here, and I ran the wires through here, over here, and then as you can see it's plugged in down there. So now the only thing left to do is get the 2 coolant hoses ran over to the reservoir. The first and the easiest one is gonna be this top one. Reuse this hose right here, and then this is just gonna slide straight into here, just like that. Or you can leave this however long you want, and then obviously just push this back over this. You gotta cut that off. And then you want to reuse that hose. I got it cut off, but I completely forgot that there's coolant in the hose, so now Mason let it go everywhere.
Now it's Mason. Now it's, yep, I see that.
So this is what you have to reuse and put it over there. So this hose is what's gonna, so that's gonna go right on this fitting. Make sure you put a clamp in there. All right, so I connected the plastic 90-degree angle joint on there and then just clamped it on there. And then you'll take the OEM hose and just reuse it. And then put it on that end and then just put the fitting back on the bottom side of that right there.
You definitely didn't hit record. Oh, I did, no way, look.
Clamping her on there, bud.
Clamping it on there and then,
don't need coolant.
don't need that. I was gonna open it, but it's kind of hard. Big
A little hard. All right, so literally everything is done now. We got this hose all tightened up on there. I'm a little scared about it hitting the belt, but we'll see what happens. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the charge pipe back on and the engine cover and throw the fan back in. Then we're gonna go take on a little rip, buddy.
And it's gonna blow up.
I'm gonna keep the boost canisters just because I know people have boost problems when they keep them out. All right, so we got literally everything back. Now all I have to do is put coolant back in there. So when you guys are doing this, make sure, obviously when you empty the coolant, that you put more coolant in there. So I'm just gonna fill this up, throw the belly pan on, and then I'm gonna take it out on a quick little rip. So. She's finally done, so I'm gonna start. Kayla, I'm a little scared because I really just don't want anything to be messed up. I heard something about like prepping the turbos before you started, but I might just send. Everyone make a prayer at home. It's been sitting here for like 10 minutes. I'm gonna go rip it around. Let's see what happens. Now on the website it says 60 additional horsepower. So let's see what's popping. Okay. All right, that's what's up. Oh my God, dude, there's a pretty big difference. I can't not lie. Oh my God, bro. Oh. Dude, when it hits boost. Oh my God. The turbos sound way louder. Hey, talk shit, get hit my DM for a race. Dude, the ball valve sounds way crazier. This bitch absolutely rips. If you know, there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. I can't complain. On the way to work. 5 o'clock in the morning type beat. Y'all don't see of Wyatt Webster, the business side, the workman. I know. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Buddy's face back there. He's scared now. He's scared now. Look, he won't even look at us. He won't acknowledge us.
I'm the same motherfucker.